Good morning and welcome to another episode of Think or Swim. This episode is going to focus on how to change the settings on an individual chart. Now, most of you know that in the last video we had this chart view for the four ETFs that we follow. I am going to go to a single chart. You can do that by coming up here to just this one rectangle, or if you want to keep the grid view like we have here, this 2x2 view, you can go to a single chart and right click in anywhere in the black and then left click on maximize cell. By doing that, you are going to work with this single chart and you want to go into your chart settings. You left click on that and this will bring up various tabs that we can play around with. Now I'm just going to go over some of the basic ones that I like to work with. Starting with the content here, I always like to show my orders and I like to show my positions as well. And then for the alerts, you have a couple different options. You can actually show the alert, or you can just show the arrows on the right hand side right here by the price. I actually like to show alerts because it gives me a visual as far as where that alert is. And probably the most important one out of this general tab is right here found under settings, and that is to synchronize crosshairs position. And what this will do, if you look at this, if we go back to our flexible grid, it will actually synchronize the crosshairs on all the time frames here. And that is really nice, especially if you trade the Strat, because we use some pretty large time frames in order to determine what we call full time frame continuity, and that's one of the reasons why we like that setting. Let's go back to the charts and go back to the individual one that we're working on. Let's go back into the settings. Price access, I really don't do a whole lot with. Time access, this area right here for the expansion area, this I do change, and basically what that is, you see this black space right here to the right of the last candle, that's your expansion area. So if I change this to 2, watch what happens. You see how it just brought it over and filled that in, and then if we want to, we can change this back to 10 and then apply it as well. Other than that, the favorite time frames, we briefly touched on that in our previous videos on how to add different time frames, to edit it. The appearance we talked about in the previous video as well, so we won't talk about that. Now, the last 4 here, these deal with the equities, options, futures, and Forex. And one of the things that I really like as far as equities goes, I like to see when earnings will be. So I will check the show corporate actions here. I don't do anything in extended hours. I know a lot of people do, but I don't. But I also like to make sure that I have my aggregation start at the market open. And then for options, you can do the same thing as well, where you can go into the extended hours. I really don't adjust a lot of this as well within options, futures, or Forex. That's pretty much it as far as what I like to change within the default chart settings. Once you're done with that, make sure you say OK, and then you can go back to your normal view by right clicking in the black and then left click on restore cells. That's about it. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And until we meet again, take care.